this is also where our free will comes into play. Now that we have come to the point where we can see God's presence, where we know that God is intervening, right? And we know that we have options, that we have choices, right? We could choose to continue to indulge in whatever negativity, dark arts that we're doing, and that could go for any scenario. But I'm piggybacking of the last video I did with the secret societies and how they were chosen as well, right? With our free will, now that God has revealed himself, and you could see God's grace, and you know that the devil ain't no match for God type of scenario, and now you're caught up with all the diabolical things that were done, right? And again, we are all as humans are a reflection of each other. So like, nobody's holier than nobody else, and we're just reflections of each other. So like, let's say like I have a diabolical twin. Right? I have a diabolical twin soulmate. He's a version of me, like the complete opposite of who I am, right? So the same thing with us, we're reflections of each other, like a version of ourselves. And when we find each other, even the people we come across are people that we are either to learn from, or learn from, or what we don't want to be anymore, or something that we've overcome. So we're reflections of one another, right? So when we go into darkness, that is a possibility for anyone, right? So it's not to judge. That's why we don't pass judgment, because it's a possibility. Like, I could have been that type of scenario. Even with the good things, right? Like, people who are like an actor or a singer or a doctor or a lawyer, right? Or a therapist. We look at them and we're like, yeah, I could have been that, right? Or I want to become that. How do I get there, right? So we're reflections of one another. So when we go deep into the diabolicalness, it's not for us to stay there. It was like, yeah, I experienced, it's like me when I was on drugs, right? It's like, yeah, I remember I used to like such and so, right? Or do such and so, right? Do I do that now? No. So then this is a way to come out of it too. Like, you could be like, yeah, I was like the people who were gangbangers, right? Into the gangs and stuff like that. And they come out of it and they're like, yeah, that was bad. It was an experience that they had, and they came out of it. So getting back into the topic of our free will, now that we have experienced what it is that we've experienced, right? And now that we know better, that we've learned, that we have overcome, that we have, or maybe just being sit it down, like maybe we're just like, I'm not going to continue to do this because we're not getting anywhere type of scenario. With that, we have free will now. We can choose to stay there where we're at, or we can choose to overcome and heal. Those are the choices. We can choose to use our free will for the betterment, or we could choose to not do that and make it worse. We can choose to face the consequences of our actions, or we can choose to make it worse. But we have free will. And so we don't think about a lot of our free will. Like, this is something that we have. Like, we have our hands, our feet, our mouth. We can talk, we can see. We have free will. It's ours. God is not going to impose on us what he wants for us. God is going to let us choose. And so with our free will, we can choose to do what it is that we want to do for ourselves. Because God is just going to lay there dormant until you activate God, who resides inside of you. And in order to do that, you have to heal. All right, I'm gonna stop now.